Good morning. I feel like it's been a long time since I've done a live treadmill walk. So this morning I'm just gonna do a quick one, do like 30 minutes. So anybody wants to get on and just chat? I don't have anything planned besides I just thought I'd get on and say hi while I walked, and if you guys want to keep me company while I do, then great. If you want to ask questions, I'll always do my best, but you know that I don't have all the answers. I can only really speak on things I've tried or my own experiences, things like that. Welcome everybody. It's so good to see so many of you. How are you doing today? Wednesday. It's been kind of hot here this week. I thought we were in fall. Then it spiked to 100 again. Oh my gosh. Hi guys. Love Fest says, is it normal to feel like microneedling feels like scraping or dragging on your skin? Not necessarily. Now, there is kind of obviously this space where for me, it doesn't feel like it's dragging or scratching. It really does feel like as I move it, it's punching into my face. A lot of times that has to do with what depth and what speed you're microneedling at. And that is to say that you're using, I don't know, one of the same pens that I'm using. And obviously I have 10 of them, but most of them are doctor pens. Most of them are readily available. That is one thing that we can talk about. So to wrap up that question to you, no, it shouldn't feel like it's dragging. And really, if it is truly dragging, some people will create scratches. You'll see kind of scratches along their skin. You shouldn't see that. If you're seeing that, either maybe your pen's not great, the cartridge isn't right, or what you've set it to with depth versus speed is not accurate. So think about it like this. And you guys, I'm walking at a 10 incline today, so I'm gonna get more breathy. But it's a mechanical device, right? So you have pins that are driving in, down, and they can go faster or slower, and they can go deeper or shallower. So you have to think about, if you want your pen to be able to punch deeper, let's say you have an A1, an original Dr. A1 that would go to 3 millimeters deep. If you're using that pen and you set it to a 3, because maybe you're doing really deep microneedling on something, resurfacing it, whatever, then you have to make sure that your speed on that pen is set to the slowest speed, because you need more time for those pins to drive down deep and then come back up. If you set your pen at a 3 depth, for instance, if we're using the A1 as an example, and then you set the speed as the fastest speed, now all of a sudden you don't have a lot of time for those pins to drive down as deep as they were, and you're moving. So now all of a sudden you probably will get scratching because you just don't have the speed to the depth set correctly. So then, for instance, if you're doing less depth, you just have it at a 0.5, you can set that at the fastest speed because those pins don't have as far as to go down, so now they can go faster. Does that help at all? That has been my experience with them. Exactly, Love Fest. Exactly. You just have to think about it as literally okay, I have to give these pins more time to drive down into my skin. So the deeper you're going, set it at the slowest possible. The shallower you're going, you can go faster. And I know that the pen manufacturers do not give a table of depth to speed. I know. And the reason they do that is because our skin and our depths and how thick the areas of our faces are all vary, which is why even when you're microneedling your whole face, I change the depth and the speed based on where I am. Because as you can see, my forehead has no fat pad. My face has no fat pad. It's lost it all. It's really frustrating. But when I'm up on my forehead, there's not a lot of depth there, right? I can stab into my skull, which I've done. So when I'm on my forehead, the deepest I go up there is a 1 millimeter because there's no tissue. So, and then when I'm down on my cheek, you know, I could go much deeper because there's more tissue there. So you just have to, I mean, obviously trial and error. I've played with these pens a lot. I've microneedled my face a ton. So it's definitely been a learning curve, especially when I started, because I think I got my first my Dr. Pen A1. You guys, you'll never believe this. I spent like $300 10 years ago on my first Dr. Pen A1, and they weren't readily sold anywhere. They weren't on Amazon yet. So I like got it on eBay, and I was like, this is the most amazing pen I've ever found. And it was. Like, I have no issues or qualms with that original Dr. Pen A1. And that one was awesome because they did have it set for like medical microneedling because it could go to a 3. Then all of a sudden people got upset, and who knows, governments got involved and forced manufacturers to change depths. Honestly, I wish I could be a fly on the wall and understand how these things navigate with these pens. Hey Ryan, but after the A1, the pens only go to a 2.5 millimeter depth. So, and honestly, you guys, you want to know why I think they do that? Because probably the maker of Skin Pen, who wants to be the best and sell their $2,000 Skin Pen into, you know, doctor's offices, they needed to justify their pen's cost and why you're going to the med office to get Skin Pen, right? Because Skin Pen does not sell into homes. Not that it's so much better, because it's not. It's just how they control the market and how they control pricing. So I truly believe, now this is just me, I don't know this for sure, but I think that probably what ended up happening is somebody like Skin Pen was like, Dr. Pen can't be making pens that go to 3 millimeters deep because we go to 3 millimeters deep, and that's, you know, medical microneedling. So I think they made Dr. Pen somehow not go that deep. And now, if you guys have noticed, finding Dr. Pens on Amazon in the last year has become increasingly difficult. All the vendors are no longer able to sell. And even the things that are left on Amazon now are just like a few units. It's like very random. You know who actually has Dr. Pens and has the M86, you guys? I mean the M8S. I only know this because of last week's video and trying to find links for you guys. But Walmart online is stocking the Dr. Pen M8S. And I just think it's funny because Amazon's so dumb because they like want to hold like some, you know, like somebody comes to them, they're like, oh, well that's like dangerous, or that's, you know, people shouldn't have that. So then Amazon's like, oh, okay. So then Amazon's like, no more Dr. Pens. It's like so stupid. They're just trying to control the market. Like, it makes no sense. They've been selling them now for like 6 years. So and let's say this, how many people who have bought Dr. Pens on Amazon over the last 6 years, I want to know how many of them have complained that they hurt themselves, they're upset that they bought it. No, they're all stoked and they're like pissed because all of the pens are gone now and all the cartridge refills are gone. So now people are going to have to source like through Korea, where our vendors do stock them, but it's just friction in the system. And now all of a sudden, instead of getting prime shipping, now you're paying $45 shipping to get it from Korea. And I'm glad that that's an option for everyone, but it's so frustrating. And who at Amazon is the arbitrator of what's safe? Who are these people? And furthermore, who at the FDA or in our government is even making these decisions? Who is sitting there being like, people shouldn't have Dr. Pens? Who is this person? I've never been asked about Dr. Pens. I feel like I would be a pretty good case example if we want to shut down Dr. Pens in the United States. You'll be a pretty good case example of their efficacy, their safety, the ability to use them at your home, on your own. I mean, who's shutting this down? But I'm telling you, the powers that be, that we don't know who these people are, We didn't vote for them. That's why, you guys, okay, I know. Most of you guys know that I'm a huge Trump supporter. I get it. I'm not trying to sway you in any way. That is not the plan, and I do not want to ever offset, because that's stupid, because 50% of the country loves Kamala too, right? So if you are a Kamala supporter, I have nothing against your opinion, and I don't want to debate that with you. But I will tell you one thing that I'm super stoked about for myself, and I hope that a lot of freedom-loving, empowered people feel the same way, is if Trump is elected and Elon is able to go in and basically finally do an audit on our government. I'm so stoked about that, because if you read Elon's books, he is so good at getting down and shipping out money. I mean, that's the way he's made SpaceX work. And Tesla. It's really incredible how hardcore he is at cutting costs. And that's what our government needs. And I only bring that up because I swear, whoever this person is in the government against Dr. Penn's, their job, like, they're dumb. Like, they need to be out. They're ineffective. They're idiots. Like, I'm just so tired of this. I just literally feel like we are being driven by morons, and I can't take it anymore. And I think that's how a lot of people feel. But anyways, this is just my point on the Dr. Penn and why it's falling out of availability. And I'm super sad about that for you guys, because I know so many people who will find me will be like, oh, how do I get that Dr. Penn? It's like, well, it used to be really easy. And now, I don't know. And I'm afraid they're going to do the same thing to peptides. You know, like, peptides have been around since the 1920s. And they keep getting developed, new ones isolated, new ones understood. Sorry, guys, I'm super hot. And I just think that in some way, they're gonna try to cut down that supply to individuals, because again, they wanna control it. Why do they wanna control it? For money. That's the only reason you try to control anything. Well, truth or money. That's the reason you try to control stuff. Truths that you don't like, and money you want. That's where they control. So if you ever think that these laws and rules or these regulations are coming out because they're so concerned about you and your safety, that's the biggest joke in the world, because they've been poisoning us ever since they put out that crazy food pyramid that has made everyone obese, ruined our mitochondria function. You going to school?
Yeah.
Okay. Have a good day. Oh my gosh, I might fall off. Bye, Miles. Have a good day. Your skin looks good too. Look at my abs. Oh my gosh, thank you. Okay, Steph says, I pulled my hamstring and I want to help heal it up quickly. Yeah. And so like the TB 500, and the BPC 157, and honestly, like, you should do the TB 500 injection, but when it comes to the BPC 500, or I mean BPC 157, you should probably take that one orally, because I started doing BPC 157 in the beginning injection, but then after research and what I realized is that actually with that one peptide in particular, because it's derived from our gastric juices, it doesn't get compromised when it goes through your digestion, and since it's actually meant to heal in your gut, that's why taking it orally is actually even better than doing the injection. So put the money to the TB 500 and then get the oral one from Amazon, and they sell a BPC 157 on Amazon that you can take orally. And because I struggled with like leaky gut and just like gut issues, if you guys watch my other videos, I talked about how in my early 20s I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. That is no longer an issue for me, but obviously there were issues in my digestion tract. So I feel like the BPC 157 orally is like better at just getting in there and coating the epithelial of your intestine lining directly to help. So with your hamstring issue, obviously, I'm not a doctor. I'm not like telling you what to do, but if you're looking at peptides for muscle injury, definitely TB500 is great at helping. And with TB500, when I had my groin issue, when you have issues and you're using TB500, you can inject in your hip for peptides if you're like just doing an overall systemic, like, oh, I just want my body to feel better. And like with informational, you would inject at night, and that would help you recover and sleep. You can just do that in your like hip. Or if you have a good fat pad here, you can do that in your stomach. But if you're treating a direct injury or like a tear or something that's hurting you, then with the TB500, you would do it directly into it. So like my groin issue, I would just shoot it straight in. Like I would find exactly the point in it where it was hurting, and I would take the needle straight into it, and I would just disperse all of that TB500 around the break or tear or whatever was going on. Has anybody else used peptides this year? I know a lot of people in our app have. But anyways, any other questions that I can answer? I do feel like I should make a YouTube video about where the Dr. Pens went. Like, where did the Dr. Pens go? Oh, Steph, I hope that helped. I mean, that's just my personal experience and from what I've researched over this year so far. But, you know, just like with skincare, the peptide world is constantly evolving and learning and figuring out how to use things, because now that there's so much more of it on the market, you get so many more experiences, and it's just a great incubator to be able to go into those Reddit things, or now in our app where we have a huge peptide group. So that really helps, like talking to other people and being like, oh, you had that same injury, or that's how you were struggling, oh, that's how you used it, you know, that really helps. So where can I get a Dr. Pen now? So there are some still on Amazon. It's just not the same supply and it varies. So in my YouTube video that I put out last week on microneedling, I linked to a bunch that are available. And in the blog, we link to a bunch that are available too. So you can go to my YouTube channel and look at last Thursday's video, and it has links to lots of things that you can still get, at least in this last week. That's the other thing. We put a lot of these links in the blog since we can change them out or find new ones as they fade. Sometimes on YouTube, we can forget to go update those things, but the blog has a lot of stuff too. All right, I've been walking at a 3 speed at a 10 incline for almost 20 minutes. I think the 10 incline is the way to go. I was doing 3 and 4 before, but definitely the 10, yeah, it breaks out the heat faster. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. You guys, it's constantly a moving target. So that's the other reason the app is more timely. Because when I post a YouTube video, I don't go back to that description and like re-edit the description all the time. Like I should, but there's a million other things to do. So once that video is done, I just leave it there. Whatever the links work, if they fail in the future, I just don't have the energy to go back and sort that out. But the app is where we have the most timely updated information on stuff, including the sale. So like right now, Filler House, I think the sale ends today, but they even have pens. And then our other vendor does have the Dr. Pen M8S. So it's just, that's the reason to be in the app, because I can't control every piece of information I put out for years and in the description boxes, that's just a tremendous amount of work to try to update that constantly for you guys. So if you're not already a member of our app, there's a lot of benefits to it. Timely updates, constant lives on how to do things, where to source stuff, and the best promo codes from our vendors that we only put in the app. Because the goal of the app was to create something where you could go and have a community of like-minded people where you felt comfortable asking about these things and how people are doing and what's happening. And in order to run this and have a team to help run it, there's a cost to it. It's $15 a month or $120 for the year. But the whole idea is that the 40% off coupons and the deals that you get in the app, that would offset that cost straight up. Like, instead of spending $15 a unit on Botox, you can get it for $1 a unit in the app. So essentially 1 unit of Botox justifies your membership in the app every month, you know. So just, and it's month to month, so you can cancel whenever you want. You can come in, get all the information you want, get the deal that's going on that month, and then you can leave and you can go on with your life if that's what you want to do. Like, there's no control there. Oh, okay. Reeling Studio says, I am in the app. Do you have a supplier for Peptide? Oh, and Dooney says, oh, you're from Spain? Hola, buenas. Oh, welcome. Mucho gusto. Okay. Do you have a supplier for Peptide? In the app, we did, and we still kind of do, but there's not a supply chain right now. There were some issues with the Peptide and with our peptide suppliers. So the peptides that you were buying in the app were stocked in Vegas, and they were raided, and the government took their peptide stock. But then they tested and it said, oh, these peptides are legit, so you can come get them. Because they're like, for some reason, they thought they were fake, but they're not. They're real when they test it. So then they're like, oh, you can come get, $100,000 worth of peptides. So they're still working on that. But in the app, besides vetted vendors, we also link or share with you where people are getting them from people that we're not associated with, but just from sites. Because there's so many research peptide sites online, like there's so many. So before we ever even had a hookup with semaglutide or tirzepatide, we would just link or share a bunch of vendors online that are peptide research sites and where we bought stuff from and where people have used them from. And so in that peptide group, there are tons of people who have bought from these other places, use them, share with you how they've used them. Like my Melanotan comes from research sites, like not from my own vendor because they don't have Melanotan. The MOTC, the Informational, the TB500, all of those things I've bought from different research peptide sites. I've been happy with all of them. Honestly, actually, I'm redoing Melanotan 2 right now. That's why I'm tanner, because I'm going to go to Bali in 2 weeks, and I wanted to make sure that, I was tan and also didn't break out in that UV rash. So I think we're getting set. The only thing is I was going to make a new microneedling, stretch mark video for you guys. But that will probably have to wait till January for me to film that now, because when you're on Melanotan, you don't necessarily want to be doing a lot of microneedling, supposedly. So I'm not going to microneedle right now while my melanin is in high boosting form. But the video I'm putting out for you guys tomorrow on YouTube is the neck tightening video. So that's the video that I filmed, and I actually did the procedure 2 weeks ago in the app. But the video is coming out for you guys tomorrow. I'm switching the time up. I'm releasing it at 10 a.m. I'm going to see if Thursdays at 10 a.m. are better than Thursdays at 5:15. So we're gonna switch it up, see what that's like. But in that video, I share where I mark my platysmal bands and up on my jaw for laying down the platysmal bands, for toxing them. And then I mark and share the threads that I'm using and where I'm placing them. So anyways, I think in that treatment I did like 64 units of Injectables, and then I placed 40 threads. So that's what I did in that neck tightening video. So I hope it helps you guys if you're thinking about stuff like that. And hopefully it's a good, solid video for YouTube where I didn't do anything wrong, because I feel like now I kind of understand how to navigate the rules. They're not spelled out, but you know, it's always such a surprise. The ambiguity is awesome. So hopefully that video does well. I hope you guys enjoy it. Oh shoot, the chat wasn't rolling. Okay, RC Sue says, no. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, do the specials you have in the app apply to all countries? Yes, Lola. So, I mean, I don't know what country you live in. Obviously we're not, you know, the vendors aren't shipping to North Korea, or probably Iran, or probably Palestine right now. But in actuality, they do ship worldwide, all over Europe, Australia, the US, Canada, Central, South America. They do. But if you order too much, like if it looks like you're going to resell, like if you order 10 boxes of Injectables, some customs will pull that and destroy it. So for instance, like Canada is by far the worst. And I'm sorry if you live in Canada, your country is just tyrannical. And if you live there, you probably know that. And hey, we're headed there too, so we're right behind you. But Canada's border control and customs is by far the most severe that we've seen in the app. Canada is always the one who typically gets more packages seized than any other place. So one of the ways to avoid your packages getting seized is to not overbuy product. And I cannot stress this to you enough. I know it gets exciting when that 40% coupon code comes on. And I know it's $45 shipping from Korea, so I get that. But you guys, stop overbuying units at one time. These 40% off coupon codes, they come up multiple times a year. You will get it again, and you buy the tox and the meso and the exosomes and the biostimulators you need for those next 3 months. Do not overbuy. If you overbuy, you run the risk of your package being destroyed. And obviously, I am an affiliate with them. So I'm telling you this for your own safety. Would I love you to go in and buy up their entire site in one swoop because I get a cut of that? Sure, but that's not in your best interest, you guys. I'm telling you, scale it back on the units of everything you buy so that you never run the risk of customs thinking that you are planning on reselling. Because when you buy 10 boxes of Injectables, customs doesn't think you're going to use those yourself. They think you're going to resell them. So that's why they destroy them, okay? So most 2 boxes of Injectables. Like, do not go over 2 units of anything. Just buy, if you want something, buy 2 of them. Don't buy more of them. Especially if you're in Canada. Oh, and good news for anyone who, you know, because we talked a lot about like Injectables maybe falling out of supply because Metatox, the company that owns Injectables, was maybe going to sell it to Allergan. We just found out that that sale did not go through. So Allergan is not acquiring Injectables, at least not right now. So the Korean vendors and suppliers are still going to be able to have the supply of Injectables because Allergan won't be buying it and shutting it down. So that's good. And by the way, it just constantly puts it into perspective on how Allergan tries to control the market. Now, they could buy it, and one idea was that they were going to buy it and bring it into the U.S., rename it, like it's a new product or something, and maybe it would compete, with Botox. But I guess they're not doing that. I don't know. But anyways, I'm happy because Injectables is my favorite. And, Naboda is still really great too. You just need more units of it. But Naboda is Jeuveau in the United States. Jeuveau was FDA approved in like 1999. I mean, 2019. 2019 spring. And I think I first tried it in office here May of 2019. And it would take double the amount of units for me with Jeuveau than it would for Botox. So that's one of the reasons you don't see Jeuveau making any splash in the United States market, is because it would just be too expensive to get the same result at that price point. So Naboda is good, but it needs to be used, you need more units of it. And in the app, because you can reconstitute Naboda, you can reconstitute it to be a higher strength, by putting in less bacteriostatic water. And so then you can get more units for less volume, so you can make the concentration stronger. Oh, hey, Alif from Germany. I'm well, thank you. How are you doing? Hey, Viola, how are you? Okay, so my goal was to do 40 minutes at the 10 incline at 3 speed. We're at 33 minutes. So if there's another question, hey, I should have known. Is anybody who's on here either a Skin Squad member or just know from the app? Do we know and I hate it because I can't check my phone now. Who is going live in the app tonight at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern? And what are they doing? Marilyn. Oh, I look so fit. Oh, well, thank you, Marilyn. That's kind of you. It's obviously been a long life journey, which I have shared shamelessly online in detail. Oh, I don't know if we haven't. I know Brian was here, but he may have gotten off because I'm sure he's at work. Anyways, I can't remember off the top of my head who is going live tonight. I looked at the schedule 2 days ago and now I can't remember. But the last week's lives were just really incredible. Rita went live last night and that was great. And then last week, I was just really sucked in to both Rhonda and Jenny May's Blossom and Radius injections. Like when I saw Rhonda do that bolus right here and literally lift this entire shadow of the jowl, making it look so much higher, I was like, what? I need that. So the Radius Blossom, I've never done that. That is a calcium filler. If you're not familiar, that is by far the most difficult injectable to work with. Not only because you want placement absolutely correct, because you're placing volume and it's going to grow, but there is no dissolver for calcium filler. So if you vascularly occlude, there's no way to stop that. So that is the reason that most people do not always do that type of filler. But that's why it's so incredible watching people who have come into the app and how they have developed their skill and their research to the point where Jenny May has literally restructured her face, filled it up completely with so many biostimulators and the Blossom, and she looks great. Then I really was fascinated by the Juve look. So if you guys haven't seen that product, Jenny May, I washed hers too. She placed it in her tear troughs, and you guys know that after using the semaglutide, a lot of the fat pad in my face just wiped out, and it was on the decline anyways just due to age. But definitely the semaglutide robbed my face of fat pads. What I've realized is you can't have a thigh gap and a full face, okay? It's like impossible unless you just start filling your face back up, because it's like, for me, in order to have a nice plump face, I have to have plump thighs, because it's just a body fat percentage thing. And I wish I could say, no, just go fat to my face. But as we know, that doesn't work. So biostimulators, I don't know. I've been looking at Turkey, you guys. Okay, so tell me about this. What do you think? I know. I'm not opposed to medical tourism, and I think you can get so much value for medical tourism, especially depending on where you go. And in 2018, I went to Turkey, and I thought, not for medical tourism, just we were in Greece and then we went into Turkey. Anyways, it was great. And I loved Turkey. I think it's fabulous. And Turkey's medical tourism, even when I landed in 2018, right in the airport, just everywhere, like hair plugs, just like a ton of different surgeries that they were offering. And a lot of the UK, because of socialized medicine, now goes to Turkey to get things done. Just like Canada goes to Mexico to get things done. Do you guys see the consistency here? Social medicine does not work, and it causes people to look for other options. And that's what's caused medical tourism to skyrocket. I watched this one thing with this orthopedic surgeon from the UK, and he was like on a 2-year list in England to get his like rotator cuff fixed. And he's an orthopedic surgeon. You would think he could expedite this. He probably needs his shoulder to do surgery. Nope, 2 years. Goes to Turkey, in 1 day lands, gets in, they do, he says they're just fabulous. And like the medical devices and everything, he says, that they used on his shoulder were so good that he had some other issues. He decided, hey, can we take care of these two right now? And they're like, sure. That is freedom, okay? That is amazing freedom. That is what serves the individual. That's what a true market does. A true market offers something that somebody wants and does it as efficiently and the best as they possibly can. Who feels like the US medical system's run like that? Who feels like the Canadian medical system's run like that? None of it is. None of it is. That's why they're all collapsing. And that's why people are angry. And that's why people are searching for options. So, whether it's like an actual injured thing that you want to get replaced, or let's say you want to get fat put into your face because you lost it all. So that's one idea, because you can do it cheaper there. You can fly there for like $800, $1,000, depending. For me, San Francisco on Turkish Airways, direct into Istanbul, is a great flight. Turkish Airways, like if you see that as an option, book it. Don't think because it's a Turkish, because like not United or Delta, that it's bad or something. And a lot of times it can be less expensive. And actually, I see this a lot. Chinese carriers and some other carriers in the world, they get subsidized by their governments to make their tickets less expensive on the global market. So United and Delta, they're going to be super expensive and they're horrible. But Turkish can actually be cheaper and it's phenomenal. I wasn't really, I don't know what was going on. I didn't realize how great that flight was going to be, so I just like shot, and I was in business class, so it was just incredible. I wouldn't play, I mean, I'm not planning on playing that again, but it was an incredible treat. And anyways, all I'm saying is do not look at other countries' carriers because you're like, oh, well, that's cheaper. That's good. They're good. Okay, they're really good. Yeah, so I have been considering going to Turkey to get fat grafting, the lip flip. So when it comes to this area, they can do a really, really easy technique, because what you really want is you want this area, like this philtrum area, to be about 12 millimeters in length. And as we get older, it stretches down and becomes longer. And then that kind of takes away a lot of balance in our face. So when they do this little nip tuck here, it lifts up your cupid's bow, making the philtrum shorter. Just gives you more lip, and it looks awesome. The other thing I was thinking about doing is the bluff, the under eye and the upper eye bluff. I can't take it anymore. It's just so hollowed under here, and this is so baggy, and there's only so much you can do, and then you just have to cut the skin out. So, but you want to do this before it's super obvious that you need it, right? That way you just look like you're refreshed. Also, you want to do things like this while you're still young and healing up really, really well. So if you do face stuff in your 40s, if you do the mid-face lift in your 40s, that's another thing. I'm going to talk to them about that. The mid-face lift, but it can help. It would take care of the neck too. Anyways, a lot of ideas, but basic, I'd want to do my lips, the bluffs, and a lot of fat filling. Because look, look at my forehead, you guys. I'm like an old man. You see that? You see my skull break there? That's because I have no fat pad in my face. Okay, this happens when you're like 70, but now I'm 40, and I have that fissure, and you can see it. So it would be great to get a lot of fat. Just add a pound of fat into my face, just like everywhere. So I don't know. I need to reach out to them and start like figuring out what happens, but oh no, there's not a language barrier in these. You guys don't understand. Medical tourism is not involved in insurance. It's not involved in the government. It is built to make your experience the best possible. So the facilities are high-end, English-speaking, just like state-of-the-art, like really, really nice. Like you're walking into a mall that's a hotel that they can service you in any way. Teeth, body, lasers, back grafting, facelifts, like they'll do it all, like rotator cuff, like anything that you need to get fixed, hair implants, like they do it all. And you're not waiting. You schedule it, you get there, they run you through all of their preliminary health scans and whatever, and then you're ready to go. Like, it's all about you. It's not about the hospital, it's not about the insurance company, it's not about what you can qualify for. No, they are catering to you, and you can do it for so efficiently as far as money goes. Like, so I'm gonna do some online consultations with some Turkish hospitals, and I think I'm gonna just build it into a new video series, and this will probably come out next year, but my plan is to try to navigate it and figure it out, and I don't know, I'll let you guys know, but what do you think about that? And do you think I'm crazy? By the way, you guys, you should never have to worry about language barriers again in the world if you're traveling. Now that, I mean, Google Translate's been around forever, but now that the language models are so sophisticated in AI, don't worry about language anymore, you guys. Like, it is so efficient at translating anything you want now. Okay, so Erica says, Kim, go to Lithuania with these operations. It's so much cheaper than the UK or America. and so good. Yes, I'm gonna look, there's some different countries I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna look at Lithuania for sure. Definitely Turkey, only because I'm a little bit more familiar there. You know why I'm sad though? I was like, because I love the food in Turkey. And I was like, dang it, if I get this lip thing done, I'm probably not gonna be able to eat any of the mesa. But it'll be worth it. I'll take some mesa home with me or something. Way to take one on for the tribe. Thanks, Stephanie. Thanks, Olive. Have a good day too. You think it's awesome? Who are the clinics or doctors you've researched? Okay, I'm glad you asked that. I've just done preliminary, just like I'm lazy, I'm scrolling, I'm looking at things. But I am gonna sit down and do like actual research where I start writing down people and then making like the email addresses and setting up all that database information so that I can start going through and seeing what I think and then comparing them. So I haven't done that yet. And there's a couple that I've looked at, but I haven't looked in like 2 weeks, so I can't remember their names. But I will obviously do a very thorough investigation into the different ones that I'll contact, and I'll write that information down for you guys and share it. Hey, if I find a good place, we could just do a tribe trip together in Turkey and we could all get facelifts together. Just do a week of facelifts in Turkey. That would actually be really awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I might actually get hair plugs done too. I've been thinking, if I don't get an upper brow lift ever, and there's not like, I don't know how they pull it, but obviously I have a very tall forehead and now it's receding. And so, I mean, I might even talk to them about doing the hair implants right here to stave off that. Yes, I am live. So those are my thoughts. I've been wanting to share with. Okay, Lisa says yes. I know, you guys. Okay, so I will do that. I will do the preliminary research into Turkey. We'll find some people. I'll even talk to them about the idea that I have this large community. Some people might be interested in the same thing, and see where that goes. Because if we were like out there with like 6 or 10 of us all doing it together the same week, I think that'd be super fun. And probably a lot of support for so many people who have maybe never traveled out of the country. Don't worry, I'm your girl for that. Or just feeling uncomfortable in a medical setting where you just feel uncomfortable. Like, those are all normal feelings, and you don't want to be there alone. So if we were able to do it as a group that worked out for everyone on the same time frame, that would actually be super therapeutic, I think. And we could all walk together as we're healing. Okay, M says, I wonder how long you would stay there recovering after the surgery. So typically what it looks like is they book you for a week, okay? And this is a lot of like even more severe body surgery. Really, for returning, it depends on, especially if you have a lot of leg, like say you get a lot of leg lipo or leg surgery and stuff like that, maybe you have to wait longer to fly back. It has to do with you being able to fly back and not getting blood clots. So it depends on how much they feel like you're ready to fly. But you guys, this is their job. This is what they do 24/7. In fact, one of the places, I'll share it in stories. I'll link to it. There's a great medical tourism hospital in Turkey that has a great Instagram feed here. And the thing that I really like about their Instagram feed is they put the flag next to everybody's picture. So you see a lot of US, a lot of Canadian, a lot of UK people. And you can reach out to these people and be like, hey, how was that? What did you think? How'd that go? But they're all raving about it. And there's videos on it too. So I'm not like gonna make the first video on this. So all I'm saying is that there are options in this world, and you might be able to just see the world while doing it. Okay, you guys, I did the length that I wanted. Thank you for chatting with me this morning. The video for YouTube will launch tomorrow at 10 a.m. It will be the neck lifting with talks and threads. And then I will start navigating Turkey options and Lithuania options. Okay, see you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.